Hey guys, hope you're doing well and great. Alright, welcome back to the content for today. Okay, so in this topic, I want to share with you about the brand, right? The importance of the brand. So, the topic for today is going to be story behind your brand, right? So, why your brand story is important. Alright, so it's not going to be a long video. I will try my best, and I got kind of a few points to share with you. So, the first thing is that you have to understand. I want to share you a quick story, right? So, we all watch a movie, Hollywood movie, Bollywood movie, whatever the movie is, right? We all watch movies. And you have seen that this Hollywood movie is making a lot of money, right? How does they make a lot of money? It's not just only because of the actor or the people who are participating in the movie itself, but it is mostly the backbone of the entire movie itself is the story of what it is in the movie and how this character plays the roles, right? So any movie which are kind of hitting the box office, right, making millions and millions of dollars, these guys have a good story, and based on that story they found out a good product to perform, or the characters to perform that story, right? So very similar to that, this is what you need to do, or that you have to understand this concept, right? Bollywood is selling you a story. It does not necessarily have to be fiction or non-fiction. Or let's say Star Wars, right? It's a fiction movie, but the storyline is so great. The actress plays a very good role in it, right? And it becomes a super hit movie. So very similar to that. Today, if you want to build a brand, you really need a good story behind your brand. So the story is, what is the mission of the brand that you are building or you want to build, or what is the purpose that you want to start this business or build a brand for the business, right? And who do you want to serve, right? So if you looked into the similar concepts of the movies and also your brand or your product or your business, you can go, in line with the same concept. The only thing what you have to do is bring some good story, get some good story, the story that you would like to tell in your entire life, and why you want to support and give a life to your dream or to your brand or to your mission, to your purpose, right? That's what you need to align with your story. So let me tell you these things. When you build your brand, right, which means when you direct a movie, when you're about to produce a movie, why do you want that movie to be super hit movie? It's because you want to monetize, or you want to share those mythical story, or you want to say something, convey some message to the public, right? You want to share your message to people. That's the reason you have the story, and you want the actors to play those roles. So very similar to that, what you have to do is, the story is your brand, right? The missions, the purpose of your brand, right? And the characters, or say the actors who are going to play the roles, are your products. Now, the story will be very good, but if you also have a very bad characters, or say the actors, then probably it may not go hand in hand, right? Apple to apple, it will match. So you gotta understand, not only the story has to be perfect, but the actors or the characters who's going to play the entire movie has to be aligned. So uh, first, when a director, direct the movie, they do not have a product or the actors or the characters already in place. First, they go through, understand the story, and then they plot all the story, right? And then what they do is that they filter out among many other actress who would fit that storyline to convey the message to the public, to the people, right? So very similar to that, your mission, your purpose. Once you understand very well, you will be able to align what product should fit in with your mission and with your purpose to serve the people, right? So it's very similar. I'm just kind of sharing you kind of a concept which you can interrelate it, just give an idea, nothing wrong with idea, right? So one of the good thing about, before you invest a lot of money on your product or your movie, right? What you want to do is that, do you have that supporting story that you can sell to the publics, right? The actors or the product, you can get it from everywhere. It's available everywhere. But it's not always the product. It is the mission, the purpose, the story behind that product is what, is kind of attached to the people. So people actually sometimes, or most of the time, they don't buy your product, but they buy the emotion attachment with the product. They go along with you, right? Because if you have a strong purpose to have the product or to use that product, right? Or to consume that product, if you can share those emotions, put in those feelings, right? People will have the same feelings, emotions to your story and to your product. That's a very good way to convey your message to the people, right? So your mission, your purpose for your brand has to be very, very powerful, that you can convey the message for a long period of time. Now here's one thing, that if you come up with a very good mission behind your brand, behind the brand, the purpose of the brand itself. Let's say in the previous video, I have shared you about how to build your brand, why you should build your brand, and all those things. But in this context, I want to share with you that, let's say you have a great mission, you have a great purpose, you are sharing your, story to the people. You haven't built the product yet, right? Because you want to know what people would want or need, that you can come up with a product and serve them, right? Or provide them, right? Now, once you are able to interact with your listeners or your viewers or your audience about your mission, your purpose of your brand, right? And then you can introduce your product. If you are seeing that people are going to come to watch your movie, people are going to come to order your product, if you see good positive sign and you know it, that people are very much attached to the product line, I'm telling you, you don't really need any money at all. Because if you can convince the end buyer, the people who will be able to, or who are willing to take out the money from their pocket and give it to you, if you know that, if you can see that the money is there when you are going to release the product, when the product is available in the market, you know it with your feedback, with the response, that point of time, you don't even need a capital from your own pocket, from your savings, you can always go to investor. Because what does the investor want? The investor wants the money, right? The returns. But he has, or she has to, or they have to know where is it coming from, right? So with your research, with your movie line, with your storyline behind your brand, the mission, the purpose, you already captured your audience. Not all, but some to start with. With that, if you can impress the people who are going to buy your product, that means it's already sold, right? Pre-sale, basically. So, but then you need to create a product. At that point of time, you can always go to the investors, pitch them that this is what it is, right? And I'm telling you that it is much easier way to convince investor when you already have a good support feedback from people. Here's a few things that I would like you to not misunderstand. So let's say if you are in a software applications development or something like that, right? If you are creating some sorts of mobile applications, mobile app, and you see hundreds and hundreds of downloads, probably it's not genuine, right? Because people will not invest based on how many downloads are there, but how many usage are there. But in your case, or in this case, you are getting real people feedback from your response, right? So let's say you run an Instagram campaign or YouTube campaign or Facebook campaign. So let's say you invest about, let's say $500. Okay, and this $500, you try to run a campaign. Here's the thing in campaign running in Facebook, social media as well. If you have a $500, you want to extend it for 6 months, then probably it's going to take some time for you to get a lot of engagement. But then if you shorter the time, say 30 days or 2 weeks or maybe like 10 days campaign of $500, you will quickly get more response because the impression rate is going to be higher, right? The audience will be wider. So that means that you will be getting more faster the feedback response from people, right? Because you're running those campaign through third-party platform, which is Google and all those things, you are still able to get response, to get those signals of a positive sign that people are interested, people are aware of it. And what happened in this process is that ultimately you end up doing a pre-marketing before the product launch itself, right? So you already say 25% to 30% you did the marketing before the product even is in a build or it's available in the market. So you already first did the marketing, you've got a people response, and then you are able to release that final product to the consumer. And then to sustain or to retain, you engage with the customer on the back end. And back and forth you exchange their feedback and positive, negative response from the total final outcome. Very similar to that. I want you guys to understand because I used to be back, I don't know, maybe like 20 years ago, this is how we used to do, right? We may have a good idea, right? We have the actors, friends, schools, college students. We want to shoot a movie, make a movie out of it, right? Of some story. But here's the thing, if our presentations of the storyline itself is not that good, right? Then probably it is good for us because I wrote the story, we share the story is good, but not for the investors who will contribute because they don't feel it, they don't see it, because they are the other side, they are part of our customer as well, right? They are the one who's going to be buying our product. So very similar to that. If investors is not buying your product, most of the time your customers will not buy your product, because investors has a lot of experience before they invest their penny, pounds, dollars, all those things. So careful. Have a powerful mission, purpose to achieve successful brand. That signifies or indicates your lifelong story of whatever that you want to serve or provide to the people. Alright guys, I hope this short clips is kind of a reference point of building the brand message. Hope this is helpful for you, and in case if you guys have questions or share suggestions, feedback, please feel free to share your thoughts, suggestions, comments, bad thing, good things, everything in the comment section. Or if not, you can also visit my website, sameair.com. Feel free to email me. I'll respond as soon as I can. Alright guys, until the next video, see you. Cheers.